Apollo 13, the IMAX re-release is here. It's this is a new trend. This is a trend that is gaining a lot of popularity. Classic movies being released to theaters. It used to be every couple months. Every week, big movies are being re-released. 4K, they're in 4K now. IMAX. My local AMC in Burbank. It's not every IMAX screening, but they'll do an IMAX screening of Apollo 13. This, of course, Ron Howard directed this based on true events. Alan, let's just talk about Apollo 13. What a real life. And I love NASA stories. I own a little model of the Saturn V rocket. I was obsessed with NASA as a kid. I have patches, books. I love watching documentaries about NASA from Earth to the Moon. There's so many good, the series from Earth to the Moon. Was great.
And my dad lived it. So
yeah, well, your dad. You should talk about your dad's connection.
Yeah, so my dad, he worked on all the Apollo missions as an engineer. So him and his crew designed the second stage rocket for the Apollo. So you have the first stage, which is liftoff, gets you out of the atmosphere, and the second stage just puts the rocket in orbit around the Earth before they go on the actual mission to the moon. And my dad's engine was that second stage rocket, which is probably the least interesting of the three stages. But there are subjects that just bond you with your parents, and it's always their work. And anytime something anything related to the Apollo missions, those are the things that my dad and I
69
got to do. When they came out with the Apollo 11 documentary, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but during Christmas, I whipped out my screener that they sent us and watched it. My dad was just very intent on that launch sequence because he wanted to see his work in action. And that's our connection with Apollo 13. And I think anytime I see anything about the Apollo missions, I'm much more drawn to it than most anything else. And Apollo 13, certainly, it's the look, we've been to the moon, and then who cares anymore? And it's this amazing mission. And just for me, this movie is all about human ingenuity, and dare I say, American ingenuity. The fact that there's a mission at hand. How do we get these three men back safely to Earth and they dump a box using these things? Gary Sinise, just fantastic in this film, in that later segment of the film. I love it, and I can't wait to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, it's a full-on like action movie in space based on a real story, and a thriller in a sense. The scene where they're like, they say, okay, here's what they have up there to deal with. How do they make this? Like, we have to replicate it here so they can do it there. And when they shot the movie, they went, when they were shooting scenes that were, 0G with them floating, they went, they had an aircraft set they built that did what they call these parabolas, where they kind of do loop-de-loops. They call it the vomit comet. Right? You go up on that, and I went on it. It's to simulate, like, they gave us M&Ms, and I did this whole sequence for G4 on doing this. So doing the parabolas, and you hold an M&M and it just sits there. It floats in front of your eyes. You just can eat it out of the air. I got sick on that flight. I didn't throw up, but I was really woozy on the way back. It gave me a newfound appreciation, not just obviously for astronauts, but also for the actors to be doing that and doing scenes while doing the parabolas. You have this window of time where you're in 0G, right? And you've got to act during that. I mean, really amazing feat. Not only of filmmaking, this movie was 1995.
Yeah.
What did back then? I mean, spectacular, and now in IMAX. So,
Well, and then there was that long stretch of never having lost a man in space.
Yes. Yeah.
And this was, it was like, wow, this one could be it. And what a way to die too. And again, the drama is there. It's amazing. The drama is there for a story. How it ends.
Right, well, yeah, but you're still riveted. So
Yeah.
what do you mean? What a way to die? What are you talking
Well,
about?
I mean, like drifting off into the vacuum of space versus the way, sadly, how other astronauts have died.
Well, obviously, we recommend a lot of the movies being re-released to theaters are just solid, good films, and the kind that Hollywood can't really make today. I dare I say, I
Why
mean,
not?
Back to the Future is coming out next month, and I believe 40th anniversary
Yeah.
of Back to the Future. So, and I really think the success of these classic films, it's weird. A movie from 1995 is a classic film,
Mhm.
right?
It's like
30
classic
years.
music. It's all music from the 80s now.
Yeah, but I
and
mean,
then-
the fact that these are doing so well financially, we just saw Jaws a few weeks ago
Yeah.
get re-released. It was number 3 at the theater
Mhm.
box office.
Yeah. And then when you say you can't make this movie anymore, you can make Apollo 13 again. You just have to remove all the American flags.
Remove the American flags, make it more diverse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And-
It's too white.
Well, what's weird is it's like this story, they cast people who looked like the real people. That was the real story. A lot of older films are diverse. They just, they focus a little too much on that and just really focus on the story.
Yeah.
I think.
The other thing is Apollo 13 launched from the Earth to the Moon.
Yeah.
That series is just as incredible, and I actually got to see him film it at Walt Disney World. So
Yeah.